Alright, so it starts off with Young Jedi. Never seen it, so I'm gonna put an F. Oh, here we go. This is where things get interesting. We're not gonna talk about why The Acolyte deserves an F tier. The Acolyte, even from a writing perspective, is so awful. It does everything you shouldn't do in a TV show or in any media. It is so bad. The only compliment I can give to it were the fight scenes. That was the only thing that was cool. But aside from that, the show, it's just a slog. It is boring, uninteresting. There's nothing redeeming about it except for the fight scenes and maybe what's-his-face who played Squid Game guy in Squid Game.
Played these games before!
Now we have Phantom Menace. I'm actually gonna give it... ooh. I'll give it a C tier. Because, yeah, I'm stuck with that. Thing is, I like Phantom Menace. It's not a bad film, but it definitely has its problems. Like, for one, dialogue. Dialogue is really bad. I mean, all Star Wars, well, all the prequels have especially awful dialogue. I don't really have many complaints about the Phantom Menace, aside from just the dialogue.
Boy, I love you!
Attack of the Clones. Here, I'm gonna switch these. No, I'll keep it the same. Attack of the Clones was on par. Dialogue was significantly worse. Also, the Anakin with Padme. I mean, even still, just the dialogue was, as Alec Guinness once put it,
Dialogue was pretty ropey.
it's just, I don't know. I never really found their romantic interests to be that interesting. And then every time they talk to each other, they talked at a really fast pace. I mean, that's just George Lucas. He's like faster and more intense. I don't know. I mean, these two, I definitely like the Battle of Geonosis. The Clone Wars movie, I'm also gonna put a C tier. I don't see why it gets the hate. I rewatched it like 2 weeks ago. It's really not bad. I mean, I guess people hated it because the animation, it was weird. I mean, albeit, the animation does look a bit strange, but who cares? It's not like The Acolyte where there's bad writing and bad CG and a Wookiee Jedi, for heaven's sake. Really don't get all the hate that the Clone Wars movie gets. Bad dialogue? Sure, but so do these two movies. And the Clone Wars, I'm actually going to give an A tier. The show. This is the show, The Clone Wars. I mean, the first few seasons definitely, like, pondered. Like, it was, or like, I pondered while I was watching the show. It was just like, I don't know. But after they find Darth Maul, that's when the show really amps it up. I think it is just really good. Now, Revenge of the Sith. This is going to be the first S tier of the day. I freaking love Revenge of the Sith, and seeing this in theaters was incredible. I mean, of course, ropey dialogue. The dialogue is really bad, and people complain how Anakin's transformation to the dark side was rushed. Yeah, if you didn't watch, like, the Clone Wars or anything else before that, I could agree that it is a little rushed. After rewatching the Clone Wars and then rewatching it in theaters, it felt powerful. Like, you can see why he turned to the dark side. And the Bad Batch, I'm gonna give an F tier. Man, I was so disappointed with this show. How they amped up the Bad Batch up in the Clone Wars, and then they downgrade it to Omega with cameos from the Bad Batch, with occasional cameos from, like, Cad Bane, what's her face from Book of Boba Fett? What was her name? Vanessa Shaw? No, what was her name? Fennec Shand. Yeah, Fennec Shand. To be honest, I didn't even finish it. I couldn't even get past the first episode. I actually just had to skip my way through the show. Mostly. Solo, I'm gonna give a D tier. It was uninteresting, boring, pretty much the same as any other generic sci-fi movie. Oh, we gotta go to this place, and there's no reason to go there aside from plot movement. So yeah, Obi-Wan Kenobi, I'm also going to give a D tier. This is another thing I was extremely disappointed for. I've been hyping this show for 5 freaking years. Ever since they announced it, I was beyond excited. And then they said, oh, we're gonna delay the show, but we're gonna have a 2-episode release date. I was like, oh, frick yeah, pump up for action. And then I watched it. Reva ruined it. And then not to mention the writing also ruined it. My big complaint were the lightsabers. And how there was nothing cool. Obi-Wan was barely in the show. It was mostly about young Leia, which doesn't even make sense, because the thing is, in A New Hope, in A New Hope, it makes a point that Leia never met Obi-Wan, so why does she meet him in the show? I mean, the only good parts that I liked about it were the parts with Obi-Wan where he was in the show, and then with Vader. Those parts were cool. And the final battle, the choreography could have been a little bit better, but that was definitely a good episode. Star Wars Rebels, I'm going to give a B tier. I thought the show was pretty decent. Like, especially the final season. I think the final season was the best of the entire show. Ooh, Andor, frick yeah, S tier. Now, I'll be honest, the show did not interest me. When I first watched it, I was like, this crap is boring. And then after when season 2 was announced, I was like, okay, I'll go back and rewatch it. And yeah, I definitely enjoyed it, but it didn't really grip me compared to like any other shows, to be perfectly honest. But in all Star Wars sense, writing, really good. Character development, really good. World building, exceptional. Like, this felt like Game of Thrones almost, with its amazing character developments. We don't talk about the last 2 seasons, but man, it was really good. It's like they got the Game of Thrones. Actually, no. Saying the Game of Thrones writers wrote Andor is not that good. Rogue One, this is going to be controversial. I'm going to give it a B tier. And I don't know. I'm still conflicted about it. I hated this movie for years, just because, for one, nothing was interesting about it. Characters were very generic. No backstories. None of the backstories were interesting. K2SO was cool, and Darth Vader definitely made the movie much better, even though he was on screen for like maybe 30 seconds. But I definitely, I don't know. After rewatching Andor, Rogue One is definitely a lot better than I remember, and A New Hope is going to be an A tier. Oh man, I love A New Hope. Again, the only complaint I have about it is the dialogue.
But we can't turn back. Fear is their greatest defense. I doubt if the actual security there is any greater than it was on Aquilai or Solus. And what there is most likely directed towards a large-scale assault. Talks like this, George.
Dialogue was pretty ropey.
But aside from that, it is a phenomenal movie. The original trilogy just had a bunch of bangers. Speaking of banger, Empire Strikes Back, another S tier. Of course, everyone's going to say Empire Strikes Back is the best Star Wars movie. I'm going to be honest, I'm conflicted between Revenge of the Sith and Empire Strikes Back being my favorite Star Wars movies, because I like those the best. A New Hope is also really good. I'm between these 3 being my favorite Star Wars movies. So, the thing is, Revenge of the Sith has the best battles, but Empire Strikes Back has better writing, and I love good writing in a movie. I don't know, I'm conflicted. Return of the Jedi... You know, I'll be honest, I have not watched that movie in like 20 years. I don't remember it all that much, but I'm going to give it an A regardless. I need to rewatch that movie again. Mandalorian, oh, this pains me. I'm going to put it in a C tier. Man, it's so sad what they did to the show. The first 2 seasons were absolutely incredible. Good development, good writing, good plots as well. And season 2 just made everything better. It was so good. And then once the show ended, you were just amped for more. And then season 3 came out and really just showed their facade and how bad they can get with writing, how boring they can get with characters. Book of Boba Fett also is paining me. The reason why it's not an F tier is because they did those 2 episodes that were actually really good. Boba Fett was not even in the show at all. It felt like it was Fennec Shand with occasional cameos from Boba Fett. I mean, the scenes with Boba... Actually, no. They just did Boba Fett so dirty. Like, this was not who he was in the original trilogy. He was mysterious, cunning. Sure, he eventually had it for him when he got eaten by the Sarlacc pit, only to come out alive on The Mandalorian. The next one also pains me. Ahsoka, I'm gonna give it D tier. I mean, compared to most Star Wars shows, compared to most of the Disney Plus crap that they've put out, it is definitely worse. Not as bad as The Acolyte, though. The Acolyte is still the worst Star Wars thing ever made. Not counting the holiday special that I see down here. Oh boy, I'm gonna have a field day with that one. But, oh my gosh, this is another thing I was really excited for. Like, Ahsoka, when they brought her back for The Mandalorian, I was like, whoa, live action. It may have not been Ashley Eckstein, but it's fine. And then we finally watched it in the show. Pee-wee, that was bad. That was really bad. I mean, it was cool to see Thrawn and Anakin, but it wasn't that good. Skeleton Crew, I'm gonna give an F tier. The first 2 episodes, I'll admit, were good, but then the show just sucked. It just went back to the Acolyte for how bad it was. I mean, was it Jude Law? Yeah, I think it was Jude Law. He was okay, but he was just boring. And Resistance also sucked. You know what also sucked? The Force Awakens. The Force Awakens was really freaking bad. Though I will admit, compared to the other 2 sequels, it is actually a little bit better. It's a little bit better. Like, they introduced Kylo Ren as being dark, intimidating. He could be the next Darth Vader, and it brings in Han Solo, Luke, Leia, brings in all the original... My phone's going off. Brings in all those guys, and it's super cool. And then they killed off Han Solo, and then Leia's like, oh, I'm not gonna hug Chewbacca, I'm gonna hug this random British girl that I have no idea who she is. Come here with open arms. And now on to The Last Jedi. Oh boy. For some reason, people defended this movie when it came out. I freaking hated it. The sad thing is, I watched this movie 3 times. Like, when I first watched it in theaters, like I did with the other Star Wars movies, that was actually the first movie I ever had to take a bathroom break for. No joke. Every movie that I have seen, I never had to take a bathroom break for, because I would always just relieve myself at the end. But yeah, during The Last Jedi, about halfway through, I was like, screw this, I just gotta go. My whole family actually had to take bathroom breaks too, which it said a lot. If you had to make me go to a bathroom break in the middle of a movie, that tells you the movie was boring. And thank God I remember not much of it, but The Rise of Skywalker I definitely remember a lot more, because I used to defend The Rise of Skywalker for 2 years. I thought it was a decent movie because Palpatine really made the movie better. But no, after rewatching it compared to both of these movies, it has the worst plot ever. Literally nothing in the movie works. They have Hux. Hux was definitely the worst part of the film, aside from Rey being extremely overpowered. Yeah, Hux is the worst character. Oh, no. The second worst. Because his arc makes no sense! In The Force Awakens, he literally blows up like 10 planets. In The Last Jedi, he starts feeling scared because Kylo Ren just fired a ton of guns on a man who was unarmed, and then apparently that's enough for him to break and say, I'm the spy!
I'm the spy.
What? You?
We don't have much time.
I knew it! No, you did not.
And Palpatine, he was never supposed to come back. We can all agree Palpatine should have never come back. It doesn't even make sense. And then when they try to explain how Palpatine came back, literally the worst line in any Star Wars movie I have ever heard.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
That is horrible. You couldn't have had worse explanation than that. You could have at least said, like, or you didn't have to say, you could have just said Palpatine's back. You didn't have to say somehow Palpatine returned. You could have just said, like, it confirms the worst, Palpatine's back, and just end it there, as opposed to just being like, somehow Palpatine returned. You never, let this be your lesson to any screenwriters. Never say somehow. Just don't do that. I'm no professional writer, but I've been writing for nearly 10 years, and one thing that I have learned, putting somehow in something makes it horrible. It's just bad. Don't do that. And now we get the one I've been really excited for, the Star Wars Holiday Special. You have no idea. This movie is so bad. It is just horrible. Not even as a Star Wars movie, but just as a movie. For one, it's written poorly. The pacing is horrible. There are so many scenes in there that go on for 10 minutes too long, and they don't do anything. There is literally a scene where an Imperial officer walks into a store and a salesman tries to sell something to him, and we get that for over 10 minutes. Like that scene's like 20 minutes long, and the main characters, it says they're in there. They're the main presence in the movie, but they're never there. On top of that, Chewbacca's family is so uninteresting, especially his son. In the beginning, it shows his son, I think his name is Lumpy. Yeah, Lumpy? How do I remember that? It shows his son trying to balance himself on a balcony. He's like maybe 500 feet in the air, like skyscraper high. The kid could have killed himself. And then, not to mention Luke Skywalker, I don't know what the crap was going on with his face. People were saying he got in a car accident and the makeup was used to cover up his face, even though he confirmed himself it wasn't true. That's not at all what happened. What the crap even is? I don't even know what that is. I'm just gonna put an F tier. I don't even know what this is. I'm gonna put these in D tier. Oh wait, did the Micro Clone Wars series? Heck yeah, Micro Clone Wars series. I don't even know what that is. I'm just gonna put that in D tier. Forces of Destiny. Oh, it's Rey. Put that in D tier. What is that? Revenge of the Sith extended. Wait, what? Since when did they have extended and ultimate editions of Revenge of the Sith? Hold the phone. What the crap is the Ultimate Edition? What is this? Hold on. Okay, I gotta mute that so I don't get copyrighted. The Republic is crumbling under the attacks by the ruthless Sith Lord Darth Tyrannus. There are heroes on both sides. Evil is everywhere. That's not at all what was in the originally. In response to this overwhelming onslaught, the Jedi Council has dispatched its generals, sending them far from the core worlds to bolster the beleaguered clones. Wow, this guy knows his English. On the distant planet of Urbana, we find General Obi-Wan Kenobi and Commander Cody of the 212th Battalion in desperate need of reinforcements. Really? Wait, what? Where can I find this? I gotta watch this on my own. Wait, there's even a new panning shot? I gotta see this. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's Earth! Oh, this is... Okay, that's literally from the final of the Clone Wars. Okay. Wow! I did not know that. That's awesome. Let's see. What's Apo?
Hey Wookiees, Rebels, and more. Welcome back to the channel. Today, I have a very quick edit I want to show off that I put in the phone. You can see he's got a little arrow. This is after away. And then the pad one.
Oh, I see. So he put Apo into the Clone Wars, Yeah, this is the special edition of Revenge of the Sith, except done better. I've never seen these. I'm just gonna put these in S tier because I did not know those existed. I mean, I heard about an extended cut, but an ultimate cut with this? This is new. What? Wow. Wow. I was originally gonna stream FNAF 2 today, but looks like my day is planned for the day. Yeah, I said day twice. English major, shut up. Visions, F tier. Wait, what is that? Is this another extended edition? Why? Where are these extended editions coming from? Where are these coming from? First, fan-made edits of the movie that incorporate deleted scenes and alternate footage to create a longer version. Does it add scenes like from The Acolyte? Like Darth Plagueis? Extended pod race sequences and interactions between Padme and Anakin. Bail Antilles. Extended sequences, fan edits. I feel like I may have heard about this before. Sometimes I like to doom scroll on IMDb trivia. One of the trivias I think I saw was George Lucas. He requested a copy of the fan cut, and then he realized, oh, this crap's illegal. I don't think he said if he liked it or not. He just said it's illegal.
Get this thing started. have enough power!
So there was an entire scene where they're about to go over a waterfall. You know, I'm actually glad they cut that out. I'm glad they cut that out. I don't need to see Qui-Gon Jinn trying to manhandle a submarine. Yeah, that's going in the D tier. But okay, that's Star Wars done. Goodbye.